the happiness formula. The happiness formula, Karen Albrecht. Let's bring her up.
When I was little, happiness was a satin pillow on my bed and any good book undisturbed for an hour or 2 or 4. Wouldn't it be nice if happiness were that easy now, fellow Toastmaster, Mr. Contest Master, fellow contestant? Happiness seems to be harder to achieve when we get older. Have we raised our standards, or lowered our expectations, or what have we done differently? I knew an engineer once who gave me the formula for happiness. I loved him anyway. So, he told me to hope for everything, work for everything, and expect nothing. That was his formula for happiness, and I didn't quite understand it, but I've thought a great deal about it since. Let me take it apart for you. Let's hope for everything. Hope springs eternal, the glass is half full. Don't you hate those cheerful people in the morning? Hope for everything. One of my favorite Irish tales explains a young man, John, a Protestant boy who falls madly in love with a good little Catholic girl. And he's so madly in love with this darling little Catholic girl that he becomes Catholic himself. And he takes classes, and eventually he goes up to the priest and he says, "Father, I'm having trouble remembering that I'm a Catholic. What should I do?" And Father looks at him and tells him that he should repeat to himself, "I'm a Catholic, I'm not a Protestant. I'm a Catholic, I'm not a Protestant. I'm a Catholic, I'm not a Protestant." And that should do the trick. Merrily many months go along, and Father comes back to visit the newlywed. It's Ash Wednesday today, the first day of Lent, and into the John and Mary's house he walks and he goes, he's smelling something that on a day of fasting and abstinence he should not be smelling at all. He walks into the kitchen and he sees John, lovely thick gravy over a beautiful steak, saying, "You're a trout, you're not a steak. You're a trout. You're a trout, you're not a steak." John was hoping for everything. After I heard that story, I understood hope for everything. It's a great way to live your life. I like hope. Hope is good. Work for everything. Well, we don't expect life to be handed to us on a silver platter. And you need to work. If you do not work, as Jim told us in his story, they charge rent to the people in the houses because otherwise it drains your energy. It makes you feel, no one likes the handout. Everyone likes to be responsible for what belongs to them. Work for everything. An old Indian story tells us the grandfather is explaining to his son that inside of all of us there are 2 wolves fighting. And one wolf is hate and one wolf is love. And they spend their days fighting inside of us. And the little boy looks up at his grandfather. "Grandpa, which wolf wins?" And Grandpa looks down and he explains that the wolf that wins is the wolf you feed. So if you spend your life hating, finding dissatisfaction, being upset, you're going to grow the wolf of hate inside of you and be terribly miserable. If you feed the wolf with love and kindness, prayers and charity, giving and hope, the wolf of love will grow. And inside of you, love wins. Work for everything. Put your effort into it. Feed what you want to become. Hope for everything. Work for everything. It's a hard lesson to learn. The most confusing is expect nothing. We're taught to expect things. We should expect to come into a meeting and see Concord has 6 members, so we brought a couple with us, and you expected to see maybe 3 or 4 of us walk through the door. We brought 6. Wasn't it fun to have that expectation met and exceeded? But if you had expected us to bring 15 people, you would have been disappointed. If you expect the world to give you a living, I'm not going to work, I'm not going to try, I'm just going to wait for the government to hand something out to me. Your expectations are that the world is going to give you things, and people aren't. Are they? We have to work. We're expected to work. So if you're sitting there and expecting things, I'm not going to do it, so I'm going to get this. Your expectations are not going to be met. You will be disappointed. The wolf you feed will be hate and anger. Happiness does not live in those situations. Work for everything. Hope for everything. Expect nothing. If you expect nothing and yet hope and work, you will never be disappointed. If you are not disappointed, you will be happy. The formula for happiness: hope for everything, work for everything, and expect nothing, Mr. Contest Master.
Madam Timer, if we could have 2 minutes, we could keep silent for that time on the judges'